Okay, hey Jason, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Steve. Happy to be here. Great to see you again. Thanks for your patience. It's been a while.
Yeah. How was your trip to Italy?
Well, I'm not sure when we last talked, but I've probably had two. Did we talk after the wind tunnel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
So
last time
yes.
we briefly talked, you were about to go to Italy. I think it was
Okay.
your most recent trip, like maybe a few weeks ago.
That's true. No, it was in late September,
Mhm.
and the trip to Italy was really good. Always a benefit to work so closely with your production partner and the engineering ecosystem that is supporting the mission that is Aptera. And yeah, it's the results will speak from themselves both physically
Mhm.
and in the product. But we are so lucky to be working with such a talented group.
Did you just hang out with CPC or were like some other companies that you were with?
Great question. I was in contact with some of the suppliers, and I mostly spent the time with one of the key engineering houses that is in support of CPC. If you think about CPC as the factory, they have all the knowledge around the press, or they have the presses, they have the knowledge around the tooling, they know how to assemble these things, and then they work with key engineering houses that know how to design. And when I say design, I mean engineering, right?
Okay.
Design engineering for that specific composite process. So the specific company, it's called ETP,
Uh-huh.
and they are located in Torino, which is, as you know, a historic and kind of a long time automotive center. So this trip involved both Torino and Modena, but the the results always speak for themselves in what we accomplish. And
Hmm.
I can tell you that the visit to CPC, even though it's probably my third or fourth visit on behalf of Aptera, we are very lucky to have them as a partner. I saw the space and understand the footprint of how the assembly will take place.
Hmm.
Remember, we're going to receive a kind of semi completed vehicle, and then we're going to do our thing, which is the solar and the batteries and everything that we've developed here in California. So it's a wonderful partnership.
Okay. Do you know if they are going to ship the initial cars by sea or are they going to ship it by air?
I would imagine, I don't know specifically, but it's not economically viable
Uh-huh.
on air.
You're right. I mean,
Um,
it's very expensive, but then sea is pretty
yes.
slow.
Yeah, but you account for that,
Okay.
right? You have basically 14 to 16 days at sea, plus or minus a few days on, customs. So that system is very robust.
Okay. So you
I
think you can get it over here in like 3 weeks?
easily.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking more it might take like 5 or 6 weeks or something.
No. The international shipping, it's a weird dichotomy because you have either things are overnight air or
Hmm.
they're 2 to 3 weeks at sea. There's no real in between time.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Okay, so you wanted to kind of go over my guesstimation of what that air video was and kind of talk about my guesses, right?
I did. I wanted to kind of talk about how right you were on some of the things you pointed out, and then also set the record straight on behalf of Aptera and yourself, or
Uh-huh.
for yourself to say, okay, these things are these things are absolutely this, or they're, oh, you're close, but it's actually that.
Okay. All
And
right.
by the
So,
way, before we start, I just want
uh-huh.
to say, like, now is the right time. We've always put forth like the ideas of these things, but
Hmm.
now we're able to say, okay, this is actually what it is.
Okay.
This is
Like,
the right time to tell that story.
right, because like pretty much everything's finalized at this point. Most bits.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not guessing what's going to be in production now. It's like
No, there's now we're
we
down
know.
to, you have very minor changes that might take place, or specifications, or we can't quite get that color or material, or we can't
Uh-huh.
quite have that. But yeah, we're down to like the last minutia.
Okay. All right, so let's get started with this. All right, so here's you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Uh, okay, so the first thing that's set out to me was this. This looks like a change, right here, the rear light piece. Now, is that a change, or was it like this in the Delta reveal and I just didn't notice it?
It was not like that in the Delta reveal. This is
Okay.
an evolution of what's called the license plate illuminator, or LPI. And we've decided to take a little bit of a turn and make it a little bit more robust. We also have a mission to kind of cost down some things. So we remove the reverse indicator from
Okay.
the license plate illuminator.
Okay.
And we want to be able to have something that is, strongly attached to the body and will not sustain any noticeable damage beyond a certain point. Like
Right.
anything can be damaged, but we want to mitigate that. And we
Okay.
also have to, we have to have a license plate illuminator that passes a certain regulation relative to how much light is upon the plate, how much light cannot be visible, for rearward, or like rear, for who's visible behind you.
Okay.
So this is kind of the final version, and we're executing that detail. There might be some little changes on that, specifically on how it attaches, but that's pretty much where we're ended up. And I'll take the opportunity to say that we've looked at lighting it from both sides, from all sides, from no sides, which I'll let you think about.
From no sides?
Yeah. I'm gonna
You
leave
mean
it
like shining,
top,
transluminating it or something?
top,
I don't think that
bottom,
works because the
whatever it
license plates
is.
are metal, right?
We've gone through dozens of simulations and things, and really this is the best situation we can have, is to one side. Pardon me, I'm still recovering from the Santa Ana winds and our how that affects everybody, but you have to understand, like, we start with the regulation. What is either the federal regulation or the engineering parameter, and then posit a kind of, hey, what about this design solution? So design in the sense of Aptera is really not about what it looks like, but what it is and how it functions.
Right.
And the LPI is one of those things that, yeah, there's lots of other ways to do it, but for our specific mix of needs and wants and requirements, this is the best solution.
So why did you guys go with this solution rather than, okay, so a lot of people in the comments have saying, like, why don't they get like a little string of LEDs or something like around the thing, and it would be flush against it, it wouldn't stick out? Is it like too much light goes backwards, or?
That's
Because
part
I'm
of
sure
it.
You guys considered that, right? You guys did consider that, of course. Yes.
Yeah, and the funny thing is with the license plate, you can't have too much light on it. There's a rule that says, it can't be too bright.
Okay.
Now, as an aftermarket option, you all can do what you want. You could swap out and light it up as bright as you want, but then you'd be responsible for meeting the regulation, not the manufacturer.
I see.
Right. There's some areas of not gray, but areas of flexibility. But as a company, we have to be responsible to the regulations that are before.
Sure. Now, so why did you not go with that? Was it cost? Was it what was the reason?
It doesn't work.
Oh, it doesn't work in what way?
You can't get the light perimeter around it enough and then spread the light out and then have it, whether you recess it or whether you try and put it on there's some beautiful solutions where the actual bolt that holds on a license plate contains an LED. But we can't modulate that enough because it puts out too much light.
Okay. Because most of like car rear has like the thing is recessed a little bit, and there's like a little light that comes in from the top at an angle.
Comes in from the top, comes in from the bottom, or it comes in from both sides. There's a couple of automotive cases where it comes from one side only.
Okay.
We're in different territory with the motorcycle regulations. It's similar to the automotive, but we have to have 6 points on the plate, have a minimum amount of light, but also not to exceed a maximum.
I see.
So it presents a little bit of a physics challenge.
Okay.
But we've solved for that.
Okay. And then before, it used to also be like the backup light. Now, is there no backup light now, or?
There is a backup light, although that's not part of the regulations or requirement set. There is a reverse lamp.
Okay. And where is that?
Y'all saw it, but you didn't pick it out. We'll score that in the review.
Okay, got it. All right, perfect. All right.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. So this is where it looks like from this top down view that the screen is two screens, but from the inside view, it looks like it's one screen.
Um, Pardon
Okay. Oh yeah, no problem.
me. Absolutely. It is, that's a very keen observation again. Technically, it's two screen modules
Okay.
behind a single piece of glass. So it appears as one, but it's two separate monitors. And this was the most effective and available option for us. So it also gives us a clear division between left and right.
Okay. Yes, I see that. Like not a software division.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
That's your ad.
now we're watching ads
Yeah.
on. Okay.
But you were right about the solar sensor.
Okay. You mean this thing right here?
Correct.
Okay, that is a light sensor, right?
It is a light sensor. It's a very low cost available light sensor that says, hey, it's dark, you need to turn your lights on, or hey, we can adjust your screen brightness.
Okay.
You could use, but this is a little bit, we could use the cells as that sensor, as some people have pointed out.
Correct. You saw those comments.
Absolutely. But this is well, we thought of that before the comments, right? That's part of the design process. But it's not, it's much easier to just say, okay, here's the sensor, put it there, it's dedicated to one thing, it does its job, it's robust, it's validated, and just go with that.
Okay. All right. So I talked a lot about these side mirrors.
Right.
By regulation, you have to have like what, 10 square inches or something of side mirror that's reflective.
There's a minimum reflective surface on a motorcycle side or rear facing mirror, right?
Yeah.
And they have to, it has to be a certain curvature, it can't be this, it can't be that. So we've designed a unit that meets that regulation, but also houses our side vision camera system.
Right. And so the side vision camera is inboard, it's like in here.
Correct.
And the reflective part is like right here, correct?
Also, yeah, absolutely.
And so
you got that correct.
My whole thing was it designed in a way that the reflected, like this portion can be removed should the regulations change easily, and then just leave you a little stock right here?
That is the goal, but that is not the current product for launch.
Okay, so the current product for launch, this is one piece.
Correct.
Got it. Okay, so that's okay. I'm going to skip ahead to this part. Let me see what it said here. Okay, so okay,
yeah,
here we go. This is the part I was like, what is this thing? And I thought maybe it's a light. Some people thought maybe it was like a release mechanism to release the hatch from the inside.
It's neither.
It's neither. Okay. Yeah. What is it?
It's just part of the mechanism, or sorry, it's part of the hatch mechanism.
Okay.
Where the latch goes, but it doesn't serve any, it's not a mechanical function, it's not a illumination function.
Okay.
It's just part of the way the tool and the part was made.
Okay.
Right. So it doesn't really serve any purpose. There's nothing really there.
So like this is the little, so the latching mechanism's got to be at the bottom, because this is like a little loop that the latch goes into.
The latching mechanism is on the tub side.
Correct. So what's this then? Like, why is this here? Is this connected to this?
Not really, no.
Oh, okay. All right. It's just a inert metal piece, huh?
No, it's not metal.
Okay, it's not metal. Okay.
Yeah, it's part of the and sorry for the rendering there. It's part of the the CFSMC
Oh,
hatch.
it's part of this. This and this are one piece.
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's just the way that it was made. So then
It has
is
more to do with the solar.
oh, I see. Okay. Like maybe the solar things go through there, the wires.
More or less, yes.
Okay, all right, okay.